Welcome back at Rody. This time we have another book summary for you and more of an explanation of how the book is working and what it explains. On the left side we used the app called 3-Day Mind Mapping. The book is from Ceri Evans and we are going through a little recording on my smartphone, and here you will see it on the right. So as you see, we use these apps. I'm going to talk about pressure. The book talks about a red way and a blue way of dealing with pressure, and this is what we're going to get into. We have the rational way of dealing with pressure and the fearful approach, and we're going to take a look at what you can expect if you are in pressure and how to deal with it. So let's start with the fearful approach, which is natural. Everybody has it. You cannot make a choice to be fearful or not. It just happens to you. But there are three ways of dealing with this. We have the fight, flight, and freeze, which is most familiar for most people, but we're going to see what it actually does and what is the most practical way of dealing with pressure if you are in this fearful state of being. So when you flight from a situation, you make excuses, you avoid the situation, and eventually you feel inferior and you're going to complain, as you see here in the model. With the freeze action, you're actually passive, so you don't do anything. You're not even going there, and eventually this also creates safety. This is where most people are when they have to deal with pressure, and just they avoid it. The aggressive way of dealing with pressure is actually the one who gives you the most reward, because there is actually a chance that you're gonna win. It hurts though, because you can get hurt, but you will learn. And here there's a choice between learning and getting back into fear. So if you lost, if you did something wrong, you can either think like, oh shit, the next time it's also I'm gonna fail, or you think, okay, next time I'm gonna do it better. And this is where you see the rational part of the brain can actually stimulate this. Let's look at the rational part, because here we're gonna see it as a task. So we have something in front of us, we know it's gonna come, but you can see this in long-term thinking and short-term thinking. Let's start with the short one, where you actually think it's an accomplishment, and then you can get the reward, or it's a failure. But when you see it as a failure, then it's more, then you can go back to fear, and then you're in the red part again. If you have the reward, then you always have to win. You always have to do everything right. And this is not the way of dealing with it, because, you know, we're humans, so we cannot do everything right. But if you have a plan, if you have a goal, if you know in the future I'm gonna win, you'll be able to get the failure more into you and learn from it. So here you take the same action. It can be success, but also you can raise the bar here if you have that success. When you have this failure, you're going to learn, but you still receive the dopamine. The dopamine is the reward system that your brain is going to give you. And this is actually the model how you want to learn things, and eventually you will be more able to deal with pressure. So let's take a last look at this module. So when you fail, you take the learning, you take the dopamine in, and this is eventually gonna help you. So what the general picture of this whole video: make a plan, know that you're gonna fail, know that you have some setbacks, and just take the learning in, and you will get better under pressure. But know it's natural to be fearful, and don't be afraid of it. Take aggressive action if you come into this fearful state. If you feel the fear, think aggressively, not think positive, just take the action. That will give you the best chance of overcoming this. This was Rody with the book summary. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.